mostly just for fun.
Hello. Shabbat Shalom. Jinx. Shabbat Shalom and welcome everyone. We are really pleased to welcome you to our chapel this evening. We are hoping that the rain has passed, but we are happy to be inside and safe from any future storms. And we're happy that you are joining us this evening as the summer really feels like it is upon us. We're going to begin our service with words Shalom Aleichem, welcoming in the Sabbath angels. You can follow along on the screens behind us or in your prayer books, which should be under your seats on page 24. And please do sing with us. We're happy to have you with us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech השלום, מלאכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Once again, Shabbat Shalom. We are going to continue our service with lighting our Shabbat candles. And to do so, we're honored to invite up the parents of Ava Levian, who tomorrow morning will be rounding out our year of B'nai Mitzvah.
That's true.
Going out
Last of the
strong
year.
and to begin their weekend.
As we light these Shabbat candles, we link ourselves with the generations of our people who have kindled these holy flames. Time passes quickly, and we take this moment to pause and express our gratitude. We stand here as a family with humility and with love for this occasion, for one another, and for being a part of this sacred community.
As we participate in this age-old ritual, we embrace this moment as we move forward in the cycle of our lives. Yesterday, we held our daughter in our arms.
Okay.
And today,
And
tomorrow she will be called to the Torah as Bat Mitzvah.
These Shabbat candles remind us not only of the joy of this occasion, but they help us to see the light within one another and the strengths that each of us possesses.
Grateful for all the precious gifts in our lives, we kindle the Shabbat lights.
That line gets me every time. After I had my daughter.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Continuing with our service, we come to Lecha Dodi, welcoming in the Sabbath bride. If you have been with us the last few weeks, you know that we have been trying something new not to the Jewish world, but new to TBJ, which is when we come to the concluding verse, welcoming in the Sabbath bride, we have been inviting you to rise. And it is traditional to face the entrance of the room. We have many entrances to this room, so we will invite you to rise and face us as there are doors behind us, and perhaps the Sabbath bride will come in the front entrance this evening. And if that is comfortable to you, we invite you to participate in that ritual, and if not, you can stay seated, whatever makes you feel Jewish this evening. So we invite you to sing with us to welcome in the Sabbath bride with your voices and your hearts, and we continue on page 20 in our prayer books with Lecha Dodi.
Shabbat, nekabelai, lecha dodi livrat kalai, alalai, b'nei Shabbat, nekabelai, shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, ishmianu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo Shem ultiferet velitila Lecha dodi likrat kalai Alalai, p'nei Shabbat yalalai, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mikor haberacha, meirosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila. Likrat galai, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai, yaidai, lecha dodi. Likrat galai, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai. Hitoreri, ki ba'orech kumi ori. Pnei Shabbat nekabelai, lecha dodi. Likrat galai, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabelai.
Please rise.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzola, toch emuneh am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Yaidai, lecha dodi. Likrat galai, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Yaidai, lecha dodi. Likrat galai, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Turning ahead in our prayer book, we continue with Baruch Hu, page 146.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach, Baruch Adonai hamevorach, leolam vaed.
Together in the Hebrew, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach she'arim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור.
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבי.
In each age, we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment, we are addressed by the world.
In each age, we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment, we stand face to face with truth.
In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder.
In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
As we turn to our Micha Mocha, our own prayer for freedom, we are reminded singing that prayer of the commandment to recall the moment that we left Egypt. And as we do so this Shabbat, we acknowledge a history commemorated this weekend by Juneteenth that is not as far away as we might prefer to imagine. We continue to remember those who struggled so that others could be free, and pray that God continue to bring us from slavery to freedom, from sorrow to joy, from mourning to festivity, from darkness to a great light, and from servitude to redemption. We'll continue with the words of Micha Mocha.
I'm going to take this opportunity to invite Fiona Duckworth to join us on the Bima. Fiona is a former member of the, founding member, I should say, of the children's choir. Here, you switch places with me. And Fiona has been leading services at her college Hillel, which we are so proud of her to know that. She's been, messaging me and letting me know. And so I wasn't going to let her go back up to Vermont for the summer without coming to grace our Bima with her beautiful voice and her leadership skills. When she told me what she wanted to come and sing, I laughed because my husband, I don't think I even told you this, my husband, Ellie, is a huge fan of the band Fish. I don't know if you are familiar. If you are a fan of Fish, you're known as a fish head. And I am married to one. And Fish has sort of this interesting intersection with Jewish culture in that they sometimes will sing Jewish prayers on the main stage and have even been known to sing a very rad version of Avinu Malkeinu. So she is going to share with us a Micha Mocha mashup of a Fish song called Wading in the Velvet Sea, which is so appropriate given that this is our song of freedom after the Israelites reached the other side of the Red Sea, the parted waters. And it repeats a bunch of times. So when you catch on, please do sing with us, because it will give us a little more momentum. And you are very lucky to have this burgeoning cantor in your midst. She's not going to become a cantor. She has other plans, but, a girl can dream. Fiona, please.
Thank you. Right.
Whoa, I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, I've been waiting in the velvet sea.
Oh, I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, I've been waiting in the mi hamoha ba'elim Adonai mi kamoha nedar b'kodesh nora tehilot o sefele nora tehilot o sefele. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, 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 I've been waiting in the mi hamoha ba'elim Adonai mi kamoha nedor b'kodesh nora tehilot o sefele nora tehilot o sefele. I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, I've been waiting.
Just your voices.
I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, I've been waiting in the velvet sea. Whoa, I've been waiting in the.
More from Fiona later.
Thank you, babe.
Returning to our liturgy, we turn to the words of Hashkivenu, asking God to provide a shelter of peace. Give us a place to rest, O God, and bring us shelter in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety, and in your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth and prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours.
Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
I invite you to rise for the blessings of the Amidah. If you're following along in our prayer book, we're on page 155.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot Ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Abraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. And at this point in our service, we turn our thoughts and our prayers to those who are in need of healing, healing of the body or healing of the spirit, or maybe those just in need of a bit of extra hope this Shabbat. So we pray for the healing of Cindy Baker, Emil Batat, Emily Berkowitz, Ada Barbara Corvelli, Linda Herman, Alfred Marcus, Melissa Miller, Wayne Pole, Gerard Roos, and Audra Gail Weiss. And of course, we add to that all of those that you're praying for this evening. If you're thinking of somebody and you feel so inclined, we invite you to share their name out loud, maybe your relationship to them, or to hold them in your hearts. Prayers for healing. David. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals the sick.
Mi shebeirach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
And from the healing of the body, we turn to the healing of the world, praying for an abundance of peace, maybe the blessing that we need most. Peace here in our own lives, and one day we pray across the world. Shalom Rav can be found on page 164.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amha,
With a schedule as busy as we have here at Temple, it's not so often that on Shabbat at services we really just dive into Torah. You'll hear more of Cantor Fishbine's take, of course, on the Torah portion during her sermon, but one of the things that I love about these summer months is we really have the chance to kind of stretch Torah to what it can be during our Shabbat services in a way that the rest of the year we try to pack so much in, even for the most basic of lessons from it. So in this week's Torah portion, we reach the story of the 12 spies, where Moses sends 12 men, one from each tribe, in to scout out the land. And they're tasked with finding out kind of what was happening there. What was the soil like for farming? Were the towns guarded? How many people were there? What were they like? And after 40 days, they came back and they were, for the most part, defeated. That the land was flowing with milk and honey. This is the short version of it. The land was flowing with milk and honey, but there were also people that were too big for the Israelites to conquer. However, of course, there were two spies that had a different experience. Instead of their experience being of fear and defeat, they have one that implores the Israelites to have faith and to have hope and to have that can-do spirit. And so this is one of those Torah portions that teaches us maybe the most basic of lessons, not only that it was a good reminder for the Israelites, the crossroads of change, the crossroads of that next step in their journey, but it can be that reminder to have faith, to have hope for all of us each and every day. So with that little bit of Torah in mind, we'll take just a moment for silent prayer.
Libi lefanecha see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you, oh my rock, and my Redeemer.
Shabbat Shalom. Your whole life is a manifestation of the thoughts that go on in your head. This is a quote made famous by Australian television producer and author Rhonda Byrne, who published her best-selling self-help book, The Secret, in 2006. The book went on to sell more than 30 million copies, gain a legion of celebrity fans, including Oprah, Will Smith, Ellen DeGeneres, and formed the bedrock of manifestation practices seen across the globe today. In recent years, and immediately following the coronavirus pandemic, it seems that manifesting is seeing a monumental surge in popularity among those wanting to take back the reins in their lives. Searches for the term manifestation have increased steadily on Google since 2017 and peaked in July 2020 at the height of the pandemic. A quick look at social media and the hashtag manifestation has been tagged over 8 million times on Instagram and over 20 billion times on TikTok, with the now famous 369 manifestation method becoming a particularly popular trend only 2 years ago. This practice is also referred to in some circles as visualization, the practice of imagining what you want to achieve in the future, as if it were true today. It requires all 5 senses of sight, smell, touch, taste, and hearing, and directs your subconscious to be aware of the end goal you have in mind. Sounds a lot like the prayer that we just sang a moment ago. For those of us type A folks in the room, of which I am one, the idea of manifesting may seem daunting or even a bit ridiculous. After all, just how possible is it to put positive thinking into practice and bring one's dreams to life if you don't have a concrete plan? Contrary to the belief that seeing is believing, manifesting is all about believing in something in order to see it come your way. Manifesting is the ability to use the power of your mind to change and create the reality you experience, explains self-development coach Roxy Nafusi. I know, this might sound like a bunch of pop psychology that has nothing to do with Jewish tradition, but in fact, if we look at this week's Parsha, we see the ways in which belief has the power to alter the course of history. As Rabbi Sternberg alluded to, in this week's Parsha, the Israelites find themselves on the precipice of the land of Canaan. They have been journeying for a long time, and Moses sends a group of spies, or scouts, to check out the land and ensure their safe journey forward. The spies come back with an enormous load of fruit of the land. They assert that the land is bountiful, this is where we get the land of milk and honey, but that it is filled with giants, Nephilim, who cause the hearts of those who see them to collapse at their very sight. The group urges the people not to go into the land despite God's promise that they would do so safely and successfully. They refer to themselves as grasshoppers in the face of giants, which is the image you see. 2 lone voices stand out among the rest, Caleb and Joshua. They stand apart and assert that Israel should stand tall and with faith and fortitude enter the land immediately. Rabbi Bradley Artson writes, What is striking about the spies and their report is the central role of subjectivity in any report of reality. What mattered to them was not a simple compilation of facts, but rather an internal sense of what those facts mean. We looked like grasshoppers to ourselves, and so we must have looked to them. The spies were incapable of seeing past their own self-doubt, perhaps still mired in their slave mentality from years spent in Egypt. They let their fear dismantle their imagination and undermine their faith. But Caleb, who saw the same view as the other spies, had an entirely different perception of what he saw. He allowed his faith in God and his hope for the future to rise to the surface. Some might call his outlook naive or idealistic, but his willingness to see possibility where others might see a dead end allowed the Jewish story not only to continue, but to flourish. It makes sense that the spies felt fear. They had been through so much already, and frankly, no matter who you are and what you have experienced, every one of us has the propensity for fear and self-doubt. These emotions act as obstacles and cloud our vision. To quote another great rabbi, Oprah, telling yourself you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, you're not smart enough, you're not enough is a tape playing for a lot of people. If you're not conscious of that, then you end up acting out of that belief system and not what you know to be the truest or want to be the truest for yourself. You don't become what you want because so much of wanting is about living in the space of what you don't have. Faith, belief, manifestation, hope, all of these ideas are interwoven and related to one another. We inhibit our progress when we allow the negative voices in our heads to become louder than the ones cheering us on. So much of Jewish tradition is rooted in the act of expressing gratitude for the many blessings in our lives and for asking for the things that we need for ourselves, for our community, and for the greater world. Even in our darkest hours, the Jewish people have held on to the hope and belief that if you will it, it is no dream. So too with the spies in this week's Parsha, and so too with us today. We all have the capacity to manifest our dreams and to build the world we hope to inhabit, and yet it is only possible if we allow ourselves to believe it is so. On this Shabbat, my prayer is that we are all able to feel that sense of possibility within ourselves, to be our own best cheerleaders, and to allow ourselves to call into being the future that we seek. Shabbat Shalom. Turning back in our liturgy, I'll invite you to please rise as we come to the words of Aleinu.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו ושמו ושמו
We now come to the words of Mourner's Kaddish, the words that honor the lives of those in our families, in our community, who we have lost. As part of honoring their memory, if you hear the name of a loved one, if you feel so inclined, we invite you to rise to honor their memory. We're in a period of Shiva, the first 7 days of mourning, remembering Leslie Hirsch, mother of Nathan Hirsch, grandmother of Mitchell and Elizabeth. We remember Irene Miller, wife of the late Joel Miller, mother of Jason and Philippa, Michael and Dana, and Eric and Yael, and grandmother of Stephen, Gabby, Rachel, Sarah, Joseph, Sophia, Allie, and Julia. And we remember Norman Wasserman, husband of Susan, father of Haley and Jonathan, and Alyssa and Ken, and grandfather of Jordan, Mason, Lauren, and Jessica. We're in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, remembering Arlene Bruckenthal, Harvey Solomon, Genia Dichterman Dresden, Maxine Goldberg, and Harvey D. Silver, MD. And it's the yard site, the anniversary of the passing of Amy S. Alexander, Sigmund Bach, Harold Beitman, Hilda Biber, Charles Berinsky, Marvin Brody, MD, Alfred H. Brundage, Bertha Bush, Ralph Cohen, Ira Y. Copen, Benjamin Firestein, Martin S. Fisher, Rabbi Solomon Foster, Grace Fournier, David J. Freischman, Joan Gell, Sidney Gell, Irving Gale, Phyllis S. Getzow, Diane M. Goldberg, Ben Golden, George Goldstein, Dora Feldgos, Jenny D. Green, Rose Grossman, Molly Hannock, Dr. Nathan H. Haas, Jean Hoffman, Dr. George Caden, Amy Stern Canetta, David Ronald Katz, Louis Klinger, Fanny Lewis, Edward Littman, MD, Hortenus Meyerowitz, Samuel Meyerowitz, Oscar Michael, Fred Raymond Movshin, Martin Rose, Marion Jaffe Rubin, Richard Salzberg, Jean F. Schoenwalter, Inga Sender, Ruth Sherman, Barry Siegel, Herman Siegel, Sydney Silp, Etta Simon, Lillian F. Sirota, Martha Spector, Daniel Straver, Loretta Waldman, and Mary Weissman. And of course, has become our tradition, we offer the names of those killed by gun violence in our country this past week. Terry A. Adams in Chicago, Regina Patterson Barnett of Tennessee, Micah Daniels of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Sean Jackson of Richmond, Virginia, Christian Marland of Annapolis, Maryland, Taisha Merritt of Dallas, Texas, Nicholas Morales of Annapolis, Maryland, Antonio Morales of Annapolis, Maryland, Renzo Smith of Richmond, Virginia, Nadia Tirado of California, and 3 children ages 3, 4, and 7 of New Richmond, Ohio. And our hearts are with their families as well. And we rise as one sacred community as we turn to the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha barechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Osei shalom bimromav, huya se shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May their memory be a blessing. Please be seated. before we conclude this evening, a couple of announcements. Torah study tomorrow morning, please join us. And the year is coming to a close, the program year, but that does not mean that we are done with exciting programs happening here. There's a Brotherhood dinner with Rabbi Gwertz on Thursday, June 22nd. And in your orders of worship, you'll see over the summer, a couple other things coming up, an otherwise aging class, and a summer concert with the Andy Statman Trio. Save the date for Thursday, August 3rd in the outdoor chapel. It'll be a really exciting event. Open to the community, open to everybody, no RSVP needed, but please save the date. RSVP needed, sorry. But save the date anyway. And before all of that, of course, we have a very exciting event happening tomorrow, and that is the Bat Mitzvah of Ava Levian. So I'll invite her to join us to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. And before you begin, a couple of things. First, here is a Kiddush cup for you. This Kiddush cup is a gift from our Temple Women's Association and Brotherhood. You can take that. It is something that we hope that you won't just use today, but for many, many more exciting occasions and simchas to come. And we have a certificate for you for help towards an Israel trip, somewhere that we hope that you have many opportunities to explore throughout your life, and this is just a little nudge to get you there. Go ahead.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereshit ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר לתציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך, ואהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen.
Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
That will not be the last time you hear her voice on this bima. I can guarantee you that. Cantor, thank you very much for joining us. Please join us in our concluding prayer, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, a song that comes from Israel reminding us that if we want to see peace here in this world, we have to will it to be so. So a lesson from our Torah portion, a lesson for today. Perhaps we can do a little bit of manifesting ourselves through the power of our voices. Please sing with us. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od